Hey guys, it's Owen. I'm in my coffee roastery right now. I am bagging coffee orders, doing my small business thing, putting coffee in bags. Got my stickers here. Got my baggies. This one's a 5-pound bag. This is going to a cool autism school here in Las Vegas, where they train kids how to be a barista in their cafe. It's pretty awesome. I've got my supply of retail bags from the farmers market that I did this past Saturday. This one's a 1-pound ground Guatemala, organically farmed, super yummy stuff. I use that. It's such a good balanced coffee. I use it in almost all of my blends just because the Guatemala is really good, like nuts, toffee, chocolate, sweetness. I got my fancy coffee taster's flavor wheel on the wall. I got a coffee roast in the hopper right now. This is a Brazil Guatemala. Pretty exciting. This one is how many? So we're about 6 minutes into the roast. We're at 287 degrees. And in my roastery right now in Las Vegas, just because the machine is, it's like an oven, it just heats up the room. So it would be probably like in the high 80s right now. We're approaching 100. Usually get up to 100. But I got my trusty floor fan here. Roasting coffee, bagging beans, bagging retail orders. I got some other retail orders here on the table for folks that order on my website online, which is cafedeparaiso.com. So this is just me and my day. I'm here probably at least 3 days a week, 4 days a week, because I'm like owner operated. It's just me. My girlfriend helps me sometimes, but it's mostly me roasting coffee, bagging coffee, delivering coffee, and then I sell it at a farmer's market in Las Vegas, downtown Summerlin, every Saturday from 9 to 2. That's great. The farmer's market, I love the farmer's market. There's so many good things for me to say about a bunch of local businesses showing up in person without some big brick and mortar facility that some big investor owns the footprint, and they've got to constantly pay money to rent out the space and have all this overhead. So I think it's just a really cool thing, and you get to meet people in person. Well, so yeah, this is just me in a day, doing my coffee roasting, my big messy desk here. I've got, what else? I've got my dark roast, I got my decaf, I got Brazil. I just roasted a batch of coffee. This is a Brazil and Guatemala blend. I've got some Costa Rica beans, Congo, Honduras, that one's a fair trade organic, Peru, that's an organic farmed one, Guatemala as well. Ethiopia, Yirgacheffe Ethiopia coffee is just amazing. Often it's so sweet, it's like a Fruity Pebbles. But the thing is, when the trade-off is when you buy coffee from a specific single farm, it's hard to maintain that supply year over year, just because I'm relying on an importer that's buying from the supply, and it's maybe not that huge of an inventory from each little farm. And things change, maybe a different importer or different big company might show up and be like, oh, we want to just buy all your coffee. So it's not always year over year having the exact same thing. I have this, it says Guji, but this is another Yirgacheffe in there. And then I've got all my coffee bags here. I've got a pallet that I still need to finish unloading. These are just some empty cardboard boxes that I get supplies in. I got a bunch of bags here on my racks, and also these bags and my little desk I sit on. And I've got Brazil, I got Guatemala, I got Colombia, we've got Congo, my Ethiopias, what else? My decaf, lots of stuff. So many things. Lots of yummy coffees. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of be like, hey, here's me. This is me doing my small business thing. And it's so much different. It's so much different then, you know, if you are like, I need coffee, and you're like, I'm just gonna go to the convenient thing. I'm gonna go to the convenient Starbucks. I'm gonna go to the convenient grocery store, and I'm gonna buy this big, like, very pretty looking bag or something, real pretty. I mean, my bags, they're kind of pretty. I try, but I haven't done like, you know, super fancy graphic design. But I'm not trying to really invest big on, you know, shiny stuff. It's really about the actual coffee product itself. And almost all my customers, I know on a first name basis, because they can call me anytime when they buy the product. Starbucks is a little bit different. Starbucks, you know, was a company, they did good things with coffee. They kind of like built coffee as a thing in the United States, so that's good for the coffee industry as a whole. And a lot of Americans really love coffee. It's something that people use as a utility commodity, but a lot of people use it as something that's really special, really amazing, like kind of culinary experience that really lights you up, sort of a morning ritual. But what I'm saying is Starbucks, just as this little micro example, became this big company, and they became publicly traded. The moment they became publicly traded company, now what it means is about 80, really about 90% of Starbucks, when you buy a cup of Starbucks, 93% of the profit go to only the richest 10% of Americans, because the richest 10% of Americans own 93% of all stocks. And if you look at the richest 1% of Americans, they own at least 50% of all stocks. So if you buy something from, you got your local business here, maybe at the farmer's market, maybe at the grocery store. If there's some grocery stores that carry local, but you've got, let's say, the Starbucks on the corner in the grocery store, so easy to buy, right? And all the other brands on the grocery store shelf that aren't made in your hometown by a small local business, every single one of those things, as convenient as they are exporting dollars out of our city, out of your community. And you're literally giving those profits to the most wealthy people who don't really need the money. And that money could instead be going to a local business that actually cares about people, cares about human relationships, cares about the planet, and wants to build something good that creates good value in the community, as opposed to, let's say, extracting as much wealth and profit as possible and then paying people the least amount of money possible in exchange, and also investing the least amount of money in the product. It's a big difference. Doesn't seem like it, but it makes a massive impact. If people started buying coffee from local businesses only, that would inject probably annually, probably tens of millions of dollars in like a city of Las Vegas with 2 million people. Add up all that coffee business revenue, imagine the amount of money that could be going back into the community instead of to these large international conglomerate corporations that really care only about profit and are not invested in the community. You're not going to create a relationship with Starbucks. It's not a person, it's this corporate entity. And we need to support local businesses that are run by people. So I hope you guys just use this as like a little microcosm example. I'm about to drop some beans here. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The Brazil Guatemala blend right there. Pretty amazing stuff. So yeah, I think it would be so amazing if people could just think for a little moment. And my coffee, by the way, is not that expensive. If you look at it, I'm charging about 22, maybe some of my coffees on my website, they're like $17, $18 per pound. You go to the grocery store, and a lot of that coffee, if it's not just the bottom of the barrel, don't care about anything, large corporation buying, that's buying up huge farms in other countries and trying to just serve you the cheapest possible caffeine. If you look at, the next tier up, those coffees, they're also, for a 12-ounce bag, you're paying, about $12 to $15, and that's basically the same cost as what I'm getting, except I'm a little guy. And my coffee is amazing. I've had so many people come to me and say, this is the most amazing coffee I've ever had. Or like, this is the second best dark roast I've ever had in my life. Or your cold brew is like the best. People go nuts over my cold brew. That's my Brazil natural bean. You turn that into cold brew, that stuff is insane. If you want to go like a low acid coffee, it's like all drum and bass chocolate, super smooth, nutty, amazing. Like not nutty flavor, but like nutty how amazing it is. So, but anyway, it's like so good. And people just don't hear about it because I'm not in grocery stores, right? I'm not in chain grocery stores. I'm just myself doing my thing. So this is say you should look for the small independent businesses in your city. My stuff is online, yes, and I am planning on building this buy local directory for businesses. And the goal is to say these aren't just small. They're not just small businesses. They're small businesses that recognize that we need to move from an extraction-based economy that's based mostly around large corporations extracting as much wealth as possible to the richest 1% of people, to instead voting with our dollars to invest in our communities, to invest in businesses that value human values, where their bottom line is actually creating relationships with people in their community where they live and doing good in the world. And I'll tell you some stuff that might surprise you, but my business, guess what? I don't lobby Congress people or the Senate. I don't do campaign finance for politicians. I don't drop millions of dollars on different political campaigns. I don't try to change laws with the money that I make. I am never gonna get an IPO for my business. I don't want to create value and then just hand it over to just further concentrate wealth in America. I want to create more wealth equality in America. I want small businesses to grow and thrive, and I want people in relationships and community to grow and thrive. And that's gonna be the basis of this business directory that I'm building called Buy Local. So if you wanna join that movement, where if you're a small business where you don't have to compete with large international corporations, then please like and subscribe to this video, stay connected with me, and stay tuned, and you're going to be part of this revolution of just people doing business with people creating relationships with other people, and voting with our dollars to divest from donating money to the big corporations that are kind of corrupting the system and the rules of how we do life, how we do economy, how we do business, how we do community, and instead investing that money by voting with our dollars for people-based businesses where there's a face behind who's doing it. So that's the movement I'm starting. I want you to be a part of it. Join me. I love you. Take care.